And so IgnitePOST, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about how we met.
Yeah.
He wanted to introduce himself to our business and our clients, and they do these amazing. It's like the human touch of a handwritten note with the AI and the machines and the robots and all the cool stuff that you do. And but how he got me, he said, "I'm going to send you a letter, but I'm not going to tell you when it's coming." And so I was intentionally watching my mail, and I get this really beautiful hand addressed letter. Don't even think about it being my friend over here, and I open it up, and it's a handwritten IgnitePOST letter, and it's really cool. So I'm going to pass it over to you, let you introduce yourself, and tell us about this amazing business that you have built from scratch. So congratulations, Mr. Entrepreneur. Tell us about your program and how it applies to this space.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. Super excited to be here today. My name's Arian. I'm the founder and CEO at IgnitePOST, and I'm going to spend the next couple of minutes here, like Josh mentioned, telling you a little bit about how to use handwritten notes at scale to blend technology and to inject some authenticity into your outreach. That's really in ways that can really transform your home service business. So excited to dive in. To start, I'm actually going to start with a stat that might surprise you. Handwritten notes have a 99% open rate and perform 30 times better than email. So just think about that for a second. We live in a world of constant digital communication, and people are really saturated at this point. We get communication on every device that we own, phone, watch, for God forbid. So now, we're at a point where our brains are just kind of tuning out. And so that's where IgnitePOST comes in. That's the beauty of the business, is that in this environment, authenticity wins. A handwritten note cuts through all of this digital noise. It surprises and delights the recipient, like Josh mentioned. And it really is what people remember, especially in a service business where trust and relationships is really your entire business. So it's really critical. Mm-hmm. So let's talk a little bit about the problem here. Don't get me wrong, automation is super powerful, but automation doesn't mean impersonal. The problem is most businesses go all in on digital, and it's really backfiring right now. Unsubscribe rates are up, click rates are down, and here's the kicker. The cost of acquisition has risen by 60% over the last 5 years. That's according to Business Wire. So it's getting more and more expensive to acquire customers, which means retention is that much more important. It's no longer an option. Retention is your whole business. That's your profit margin. If you're not retaining and keeping customers, it's going to be very difficult to build and grow a big business, which is what we all want to do. And so that's where physical, tangible outreach, like handwritten notes, can really come in and transform your business. So what is IgnitePOST? Josh mentioned it a little bit. Basically, what our service is, we enable businesses to send real pen and ink handwritten notes directly from their CRM system, triggered by actions and behaviors that your users do and actions that happened in your CRM system. We use advanced robotics that hold real Bic ballpoint pens. We don't use fonts. We actually use a handwriting style. So all of the handwriting, we've got 13 to choose from. They all are someone's actual handwriting. We can actually mimic and duplicate your own handwriting if you'd like. So you can put your handwriting on file with us and send notes in your own handwriting. And we integrate seamlessly with every CRM system that you use, ServiceTitan, HouseCall, HubSpot, Go High Level, you name it. So the whole idea is to meet you where you are and to be able to trigger a very personalized note at the right time that gets you maximum results. So it's automation without losing authenticity. So what I want to do right now is I want to actually walk through a couple of use cases of the biggest areas where handwritten notes can really transform your service business. And this is the playbook that we typically start with when we onboard a new customer. So get out your notebooks. This is going to be something that's super useful. You can actually put this into action right now today. So the three most important areas that we typically start. Number one is the post-quote follow-up handwritten note. So when you leave a quote, when you send out a quote, immediately trigger a handwritten note to the homeowner. It's very personal, and most importantly, sets you apart from everybody else. Because remember, a homeowner is probably getting a couple of different quotes. You're not the only shop in town. So you want to have something that's memorable that sets you apart. We take this approach with Mr. Rooter nationally, so nationwide brand. They have attributed a 10% increase in jobs won after implementing this post-quote follow-up experience. So simple way, super, couple minutes to implement, press a button, increase the number of jobs you win by 10%. Number two, the post-job follow-up thank you note. So anytime you complete a job, you want to follow up with a handwritten letter, but Specifically, there are 3 important things that we've identified that's critical to make sure that you maximize your results. So number 1, in the handwritten note, you want to mention the other services that you provide. So if you're an HVAC company and you also provide electrical, plumbing, et cetera, make sure that that's also mentioned in the note so that people know, hey, there's other things that I could use this company for. Number 2 is your support number or your contact number that we actually recommend putting right on the front cover of the card, so that if there's a problem after the job happens, or if somebody needs your services, it's top of mind right there and they can reach out to you immediately. So that's number 2. And then number 3 is a subtle QR code on the front of the card, typically in the bottom corner, with your referral program details. And it can be something as simple as scan this QR code to get $100 if you refer a friend. So this is something that we have used with Point Broadband. So it's one of our customers. They send this after every installation that they do, and they are seeing a 3% customer referral rate coming from that QR code. Now, the interesting point about that is that a lot of these referrals come a year or more after sending the handwritten note to the household. That means that people are keeping these notes around. They're putting them on the refrigerator. They're keeping them on the coffee table, and they're top of mind when they actually need the service. So again, there's kind of longevity and very long tail built into this. So that's the second most important thing. And then the third area that will transform your business, and this is for everybody that offers subscriptions or membership programs or maintenance programs, is a churn prevention experience to help keep people in your subscription longer. So this is an experience where essentially what we do is if you have a 4% churn rate monthly, that is the equivalent of losing about 40% of your member base year over year, which is huge. So we solve this for businesses by basically taking a look at where your average churn point is, how long people are typically in your subscription. And then the month prior, we set up a nice handwritten note experience that reaches out to the recipient and says, hey, thanks so much for being a great part of our membership program. Here's 10% off your next year. So we see an amazing conversion rate on an experience like that. It preempts people from canceling. We did this with Legion, who's one of our customers. They saw a 53% year over year membership base growth rate just by implementing that simple experience. And again, super fast. These are all extremely quick wins, 5 minutes, 10 minutes to implement, but you can start seeing how, if you win 10% more of jobs, get 3% of customers to refer new people to you, and then grow your membership base by 53%, you start to hit compounding effects very, very quickly. So those are the 3 critical areas that we typically start with the playbook. And then I'll give you a bonus 4th area as well. So a 6-month check-in is a great thing to do. So 6 months after an initial job gets completed, reach out with a nice handwritten note. That's a great time to upsell additional services that you offer. Also a great time to get people into those subscriptions that then we can keep people in longer and prevent churn. So those are a couple of things that we recommend doing. On the next slide here, I actually have an example of one of the handwritten notes. This is the actual template that we used with Mr. Reuter that resulted in that 10% boost to their jobs won after providing a quote. So we have templates, and we can provide insights and examples for all of these use cases that I just spoke about. So if you have any questions, definitely there's a QR code in the corner here. Scan it, reach out to our team so that you don't have to start from scratch. We're happy to help you out and help you there. So in terms of getting started, it's super easy to get started. So 4 quick ways to do that. So number 1 is map your key touch points. And there's no need to overcomplicate things here. Start with service reminders, review requests left. We can help you. Like I said, reach out to our team. Happy to help you figure out which touch points would be the most beneficial for you to set up. Number 2, connect your CRM system. When you use IgnitePOST, we actually do a personalized onboarding for every single customer. So we will connect your CRM system and make sure that your cards are set up to trigger exactly when you need them triggered, and that you are using best practices so that you'll see maximum ROI as quickly as possible. Third, like I mentioned, is following our templates that we've kind of proved out that actually work. We typically tell people to follow what we call the 3 C's in their messaging. So that is cut through the digital noise, which again, you'll do if you're using a handwritten note. Connect with the customer. So use personalization from your CRM system to personalize the message in your outreach so that you can actually create that bit of rapport with your recipient. And then third, have a clear call to action. What is it that you want the person to do when they receive your letter in the mail? So if you follow those three, you'll be golden. And then last but not least is tracking ROI. So on the IgnitePOST platform, we can help you track scans, calls, so that you actually know how these touches are performing and can give you very granular details about what your ROI actually is. So, last but not least, so we have a special offer here for the audience on the call today. So in a world of AI, again, been talking here, human moments really win. And so what we want to do is we want to help everybody obviously win and grow your business. So for those on the call today and for the audience here, we're actually, if you scan the QR code in the corner right now, which I'd recommend everybody does, we're giving away $1,000 in free handwritten note credits that you can use to implement some of these use cases that I just went through. So not only will you get these $1,000 in free credits, you can also leverage our team and use some of our templates and insights that we know work to help you get to that awesome ROI even faster. So definitely take advantage of that. There's no reason not to. If you scan the code and fill out the form, one of our team members will follow up with you and do all the legwork for you. So definitely leverage that. But super excited to help you automate with heart at scale and make your marketing more human.
Awesome. Great stuff, Arian. Really cool. Thank you so much.